So here's something weird that I picked up on Amazon recently. An Android tablet from Compaq, which is a combination of words that I never thought I would hear. But yes, even though Compaq was bought up by HP back in 2002, who then killed off the name 11 years later, there are still products being sold today under the Compaq name. And we're not just talking about tablets. They've got portable speakers, headphones, smartphones, TV mounts, and yes, even smart TVs. They're a full-blown consumer electronics brand now. But I'm sure you've probably already guessed that the original company isn't involved anymore. So before we get to unboxing this thing, let me tell you how we got here. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. So if you've been watching this channel for a while, you might remember this video I made back in 2020 covering the revival of Gateway, which at first seemed like it was going to be really exciting until we realized that these new laptops and tablets were just cheap generic products with a Gateway logo slapped on. And from what I can tell, this whole situation with Compaq seems to be the exact same thing, or at least very similar. But what might surprise you is this is something that's been going on for years. Wikipedia gives us a good summary of events. It says that in 2013, HP licensed the Compaq name to a Brazilian company. It was then handed off in 2015 to an Argentinian company, and then in 2018 to an Indian company who was apparently going to use it to sell smart TVs under the Compaq brand name. Now, it does say up here that in 2021, a different Brazilian-based company acquired rights to use the Compaq name, but the website that is linked to here is not online anymore, so it seems like they're not actively doing that. What this Wikipedia page won't tell you, though, at least yet, is that at some point a company named Trident Corp acquired rights to use the Compaq name, which is evident by this text we see on the back of the tablet's box. Now, if the information I've found here is to be believed, this company was founded in 2019, and they're based in Mexico. And it seems that for a majority of this company's existence, they only sold these Compaq branded products in Mexico. So this is their website here, it's compaqmobile.com, and if you go to the products page, you can see that we've got the smartphones, we got the headphones, the tablets. We don't have the TVs or the TV stands, but we'll get to that in a moment. All of the pricing is in Mexican pesos, and if you try to add one of these products to your cart, the only country you can ship to is Mexico. But it seems that recently they have started to expand their sales over to the US. And that's how I found out about this. A viewer sent me a link to this page on the US Amazon site, and that's what kind of made me want to start digging into this a little bit more. So thank you very much for the suggestion. Now there's currently, as of me recording this video anyways, 2 Compaq branded products for sale on the US Amazon site. We've got this one here, which is the one I bought, the 11-inch tablet for $249, and there's also a more expensive 12.6-inch tablet for $499. So yeah, these two tablets are interestingly almost the same size, but the $500 one does look to have some beefier specs, so you have more storage, you have a higher resolution screen. They both have octa-core processors though. The one that I got has, just a full HD 1920 by 1080 display. We've got 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, and it runs Android 15. So yeah, this is the tablet we're going to be checking out a little bit later on in this video, but there are still some interesting things to explore about this Compaq brand. First of all, there is a storefront page on Amazon, but most of the stuff listed here is currently not able to be purchased, including the stuff in the tablet tab. There is the Q-Tab Pro 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, but this is a bundle with a pair of headphones and this stylus, and you see it's currently unavailable, and if we go to the actual store page, it will of course say the same thing right here. There is a headphones tab on the storefront as well, and we've got those wireless earbuds and the noise-canceling headphones that we saw on the Mexican site. There's also Bluetooth speakers. This was not on the Mexican site. There was a point where all of these did have prices and you could purchase them, but when I actually sat down to do that, everything switched over to currently unavailable. And they do have under more here, you've got the TV mounts and the TVs. They've got a 43-inch and a 32-inch smart TV with Google TV built in, and then under TV mounts, they've got a handful of products here as well, but you can see all of them say currently unavailable. There are also a few listings showing up on the US Newegg site. although it's only for the two Q-Tab tablets, so this is the more expensive one here. You can see it's almost $700 on Newegg for whatever reason. And if we go down here under specifications, you can see it was first listed on Newegg on October 11th, 2025, so very recently. What's really funny here, though, is when you click on Shop All Compaq Products, you'll get the two tablets just thrown in among an old Compaq keyboard and like old RAM and motherboards and power supplies for like vintage Compaq computers, which I think is pretty funny. So what I want to try and find out in this video is, first of all, if this tablet is actually anything good that's worth paying $249 for, and then I want to see if maybe we can figure out if this is just a logo-slapped product that was made by somebody else and the Compaq people just put their name on it without changing anything about it, or if maybe they did have a little more input than that. So let's go ahead and unbox this thing, and we'll see how it holds up. And speaking of holding up, today's sponsor Nomad eSIM really holds up well by saving you money on mobile data during international travel. Instead of relying on your existing phone carrier and incurring a ton of roaming charges, you can use one of Nomad's eSIMs available for over 200 destinations. Before I discovered Nomad, it cost a lot more to use my phone while abroad. My carrier charges a fee for every day that I'm traveling internationally. But by using Nomad, all I have to do is pick a destination, choose how much data I want, and pay a one-time fee. And what I like about them are the regional plans that they offer. Say you're going to Europe and want your phone to work in every country you visit, well, they've got a plan for that. Plus, it's super easy to set up. Just download the app, pick your plan, and install your new eSIM on your device. It's that simple. Nomad supports both Android and iOS devices, and works with top data providers so that no matter where you are, you'll always be getting a reliable connection. The holidays will be here in no time, so be sure to check out Nomad by scanning this QR code or clicking the link down below and use my code MichaelMJD to get 20% off your first purchase. And huge thanks again to Nomad for making this video possible. So we're going to flip the box over to the back side just to take a look at a couple things here. First of all, this is a 4G LTE capable device, which is interesting because there's not even an option on the Amazon page to choose between a Wi-Fi only version and a cellular capable one. This is all you got. It also looks like we get a case in here as well, which is certainly a nice inclusion. We also have, of course, the AC adapter and the USB-C charging cable. And yeah, here's all of the specifications again on the back. So it looks like that these two stickers here that keep the box shut have just started to peel off. So we don't even have to cut those. Let's just slide the top off here and see what we have inside. So we've got a big old Compaq logo right here. It looks like this is a thing that comes out. This might be the carrying case. We'll set that aside for a moment. And yeah, here is the tablet itself. So we'll pull this out. It looks like they've got all the specifications and everything, and oh, that is stuck to the bottom piece there. Yeah, it looks like we got all the specifications written out here on that as well. So we'll set that aside. And then here we have this piece. We'll just throw that over here. We've got the user manual. This is a very light thing. Is it literally just, yeah, look at... Why did they do this huge thing for this one little sheet of paper? That's pretty hilarious. So that's kind of just a waste of... Oh, we do have this. Okay, this is the SIM removal tool. I think there's actually like 2 SIM card slots on this thing, because on the side of the box there are 2 different IMEI numbers. So this thing is probably dual SIM capable. So yeah, you got your manual here. We'll set that aside. And then this is the accessories thing, which I guess is just going to be the USB cable and the charging brick. So yeah, that is pretty much all you need. Let's go back to this package here. It looks like there's a little piece of tape here that we need to cut just down the center like that. And we'll get that cracked open. And yes, it looks like this is the carrying case with a Compaq logo in there, which is kind of nice. So this is the style that has this kind of wraparound thing. So you can open that up. We'll just throw that piece over there. And yeah, so it is like a stand, you know, it's not like a keyboard case or anything, but it does let you, you know, prop the tablet up like that if you want to use it on a desk. So that's nice. We'll go ahead and just set this aside for now. I'll probably use this later on in the video just to put the tablet in to have something to protect it a little bit. And here is the main event. Now, I just noticed this up here, which looks exactly like the last label you peel off when you're applying a screen protector. And then this right here says there are 2 layers of protective film on the screen. If this affects your experience, please tear them off. So it sounds like it comes pre-applied with a screen protector, which is another nice touch. So we'll go ahead and remove this outer layer, and then I guess we just peel this off. And yeah, there's definitely another layer underneath here, because you might be able to see it kind of peeled up a little bit when I was tearing off that top layer. Though I must say, it does feel very cheap. I mean, I don't know how well you can hear it, but yeah, that's not really the sound of a quality screen protector, but I mean, hey, I guess it's better than having nothing on here. Taking a look around the tablet, on the left side here, we've got a couple of speakers. Going over to the right, we have a couple of more speakers, and this looks like it's where all your ports are. So you've got your USB-C and your headphone jack there to the left. You also have your SIM card slot right here. And on top, we have your power and volume buttons. Going to the back, we've got your camera. We've got a Compaq logo there slapped right in the center. And we have a lovely QC Pass sticker down here, which is also definitely the mark of quality. I mean, it literally does stand for quality control, but in my experience, this is typically something you're going to find on like a low-end piece of tech that is just mass-produced from a template that somebody else made. You're not going to see this on like an iPad or a high-end Android or Windows tablet, for example. So this could be an indication that we're taking a look at a logo-slapped piece of tech, but I could certainly be wrong. Let's go ahead and power this thing on, see if it's got a charge, and see if there's anything unique about it software-wise. Alright, so I just decided that this screen protector is coming off because, yeah, it's not really great. But yeah, I did put the tablet in the case, by the way, which is pretty nice. It provides a decent level of protection for it. And let's go ahead and turn it on and see if, yeah, it looks like we have a charge. We have the Compaq logo right there in the center, powered by Android. So I guess this thing is a little bit customized. Okay, a little startup graphic animation thing. And we're here at the setup process, so we'll go with English US as the language. We will not bother connecting to a mobile network right now. I think we're going to actually set it up offline and connect to Wi-Fi later. It thinks the time is way out of date. It thinks it's July 30th, 2025, and it's set to the Shanghai time zone. Perhaps this is around the time it was manufactured, maybe? I mean, that's just a guess, but we'll just leave it on that for now. Say next. We are not going to bother setting a PIN because that's totally proper security practices. And no, we're not going to give Google access to my location or send diagnostics and usage data and all that nonsense. Okay, and here we are on the home screen. We've got some more custom branding going on with this Compaq wallpaper, but this honestly just kind of looks like a stock photo of these buildings with just the Compaq logo edited in the center. Let's check out the applications and see if we've got any custom third-party things installed, which so far it doesn't really look like that. I mean, we've got, of course, all the stock Google stuff. We've got Snapdragon camera. I guess this is something that would only come with, you know, devices that have a Snapdragon processor. We're not going to allow it location. And I mean, yeah, you saw this thing has 2 cameras, so we can switch between those. So it's on the rear camera right now. We can switch to the front camera. We can take a photo. I mean, there you go. But yeah, nothing else on the home screen. We've got the files application here. I guess we can go in and see if there's any like sample files. So let's just go to images here. Okay, we've got camera, so that's going to be the photo we just took. How about videos? We got nothing. Audio, nothing. I'm seeing a theme here. Documents, we have nothing. What about downloads? Yeah, we got nothing here either. So no files or anything that come included on here from the factory. Let's go into settings and see what we've got. Like, I mean, we can check out the Android version and stuff. So we'll go to About Tablet. So the name is QTab Pro. It does have those 2 SIM card slots, and it runs Android version 15. Let's see if we can tap on that to get the animation. There it is. What about like wallpapers, you know, in addition to the default wallpaper? Like, let's go into display here. Actually, I don't think this is where you change the, yeah, you go to the one that says wallpaper. Yeah, of course. We'll go to wallpaper and style. And let's see if we have any other custom wallpapers. It doesn't look, oh, on-device wallpapers. Okay, so we tap on that, and yeah, we've got 4 to choose from here. This is the only one with Compaq branding on it, so yeah, honestly, so far, kind of a little underwhelming. I mean, I guess it's nice that we have some custom branding of sorts, but I mean, I was kind of hoping, I mean, and this is definitely just me hoping, but I thought it'd be cool to kind of have like an image of the old headquarters or of the Compaq Portable One, or, you know, like some thing that this company did, like that what they were known for. But let's be honest, most people buying this thing could care less about what kind of wallpapers that it comes with. They would just want to make sure that they're getting a tablet that's good quality. So let's go ahead and try to use this thing a little bit more. We'll connect it to Wi-Fi. It looks like we have some updates to do as well. And let's just try to open up YouTube and see if we can pull up one of my videos. Oh, we have to update our app. So with that updated, let's go back into YouTube here, and why don't we pull up my StartOS video. So what happens when a group of Windows bootleggers from the mid-2000s decides to make a Linux distro? Well, it ends up looking a lot like Windows. So yeah, it looks like it's not playing at the, I mean, it's at 720p 60, but we can definitely up that if we want to and go to 1080p 60 and, you know, make this full screen. And let's maybe scrub through this a little bit, you know, towards the end here and have it play a little bit. And maybe just turn the volume down so that I'm not hearing, you know, 2 of me talking. So we'll just, this is the right way. There we go. But yeah, here it is. It plays back YouTube videos. Not that this is terribly surprising considering what hardware is in this thing, but yeah, it has no problem playing back YouTube videos. So we'll just hop out of this here. And just, you know, we'll close out a little picture-in-picture thing. And, of course, you've got Chrome on here. You can browse the web. You've got, you know, your whole Google suite of applications. But honestly, like, it's a little underwhelming. I mean, at least if you go into it with the expectation that, like, oh, this is going to be the revival of the Compaq brand. It's just, you know, there's nothing really special about this. But it's not to say that it's a bad tablet. I do want to see if we go back into settings here and check out the update situation. So let's go to System. Let's go to System Updates and see. Okay, it says it's up to date, but let's check for updates again. It says it's up to date, but the Android security update is from June 5th, 2025. I don't think that sounds right. Maybe we got to do a restart. Let's go ahead and just do that and maybe try to start the updater again. Okay, well, going through the updater again in here says that the system's up to date. However, I did find if you go into About Tablet System Update, it launches this separate system updater application that wants to be able to make and manage phone calls for some reason. We'll just say don't allow. But yeah, this shows a new version available, so we're going to hit download. Alright, well, I let that update complete, and that was the only one that we were able to get. Going back in just says the system is currently up to date. But while it was updating, I went back to my computer here to try and see if I could figure out if this thing is indeed just a logo slap tablet. So what I did is I took a screenshot of one of the photos here on Amazon of just the top of the tablet with the logo cut off, put that into Google reverse image search, and it comes back and says that this is a Chewy AU Pad tablet, which apparently is sold at Walmart, at least online. And you can see here that we have a very familiar looking camera bump. This, I guess, they still sell for $130. However, some of the specifications are a little bit different. It does have, I guess, actually a larger screen resolution. This says it's 1920 by 1200. The Amazon page says it's 1920 by 1080. But it's also possible that one of those is just wrong, because we do have the same 8 gigabytes of RAM. This one has 128 gigs of storage instead of 256. But it has 4G LTE, just like our tablet. It has a 10.95-inch screen, just like our tablet, though it does run Android 14 instead of 15, so I thought that maybe this was just released earlier. And sure enough, I found this review here on AndroidPCTV.com from 2025, and if we scroll down here and take a look at some of these photos, yeah, we've got like an identical looking camera bump, and even just the way that everything is laid out here on the back looks very, very similar to ours, even down to the little QC sticker. So then I did a little more searching around, and I found this page on Alibaba for a tablet that also looks kind of similar to the one we have. Not exactly, but it is close, although this is a bit of a smaller one. It's 10.1 inches, and And the specifications are not exact, okay? It doesn't go up to 256 gigs, but it does have 8 gigs of RAM as an option, a 13 megapixel rear camera, a 5 megapixel front camera. It comes in gray, and check this out, it has customization options, so you can change the logo, the packaging, get graphic customization, which I assume means on the tablet, all the startup graphics and everything. I also found this listing. This is for a 10.95 inch one with, you know, some closer specs to what we have, though it doesn't have the exact same camera bump here. I think this first photo has, like, yeah, it's not exactly the same as what we have, but the overall design of it is very, very similar. You can see this one has customization options as well, and then you've got, of course, different pricing depending on how many units you buy. So yeah, I think that this pretty much confirms that we have ourselves yet another case of a logo-slapped piece of tech. So this company is buying a whole bunch of these and, of course, charging a nice markup in the process. In fact, Alibaba is full of blank, you know, generic tablets like this. I did a reverse image search on here, and there's just a whole bunch of these listings where presumably you can put your own logo on the back and have custom branding and all of that. I also did the same thing with the $500 tablet, and Google came back and also thinks it's the Chewy AU pad, but if you scroll down and look at visual matches, yeah, it kind of looks like we've got a similar thing going on here too. So I guess we can give Compaq a warm welcome to the logo-slapped technology club, which, let's be honest, is kind of a lame club for them to be in. I mean, it does suck that this once really prolific brand that was so instrumental in the early days of the personal computer is now just being used to sell these cheap tablets that anybody can put their logo on. So I think that is going to wrap it up for this video. That is the Compaq Q-Tab Pro in all of its glory. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely be sure to give it a thumbs up, get subscribed, maybe consider becoming a patron or a channel member to get early and sponsor-free access to these videos before anybody else. And speaking of, don't forget to check out today's video sponsor, Nomad, by scanning this QR code or at the link below to save on your first eSIM purchase. But either way, I just want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.